Welcome, 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 everyone. My name is Stacy Jones, and thank you for joining me in my Facebook group From Daydreams to Destination. And I am super excited to have Jonathan Emery as my guest today. And let me see, I just want to make sure I've got you. John, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. You're
Okay.
just frozen at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm frozen. Let's see. All right, well, I'm frozen, so I'm not sure what's going on my video, but if as long as you can hear me, you all just have to take my still for right
Yep.
now. And I truly apologize, but everybody that's watching always knows I have some kind of technical difficulty. So, without fail. I'm on time, but I'm frozen, but that's okay. John's not. So, John, let's get down to it. So, again, thanks for joining me this evening. I just needed to know, because I ask all of my guests that come on, because this is a travel group, where did you grow up? Where did you grow up? Since, we're in a travel group.
Yeah, so I grew up in Souderton, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour and a half north of Philadelphia.
Oh, all right. Stateside, not too far from me. I was in Maryland, so East Coast right here, so not too bad.
There you go.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay. And so for those of my members that don't know you, how would someone describe you, or how do you describe yourself?
I want to say a listener, caring, kind. I have been told grounded, inspiring, and yeah, I think those are some pretty good words right there to start with.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll take it. I'll take it. So let's get down to it. I want to give you as much time as possible. But like I said, the reason why I invited you into the Facebook group is because I believe that your journey may be a light for others out there. So, because really that's what travel's all about. It's not necessarily always the destination, but how we got there. So, how did you, if you could, and I don't know if there was a defining moment, or I don't know if you think back on your journey, how did you come to be the founder of Life's Checkmark podcast and your Podcasters Hub group? How did that start for
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. So for the podcast, it started with me going through my own experience in life. So about 5 years ago, I lost my job where I was for 20 years. They closed, and I had to navigate through that. And then within the same year, I was mentioned the word divorce, the 15-year marriage. So I had to navigate that. And then there was an event going on about a year after that. So going through that, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing next year. I might as well just buy tickets to this event. It is a podcaster. He's close to me, but it was based on growth. It wasn't based on having a podcast or anything like that. So went to that event. I sat down at the breakfast table with all these other people. I had no idea, but him. Everybody wanted to believe him, but one guy. He's like, "What do you want to do?" And I just said, "Start a podcast." So he asked me. He's like, "Do you have anything?" And I said, "Well, I have these 10 Facebook lives, which I did like 2 years prior to that event, but it was on entrepreneurs." And I'm like, "That's not what I want my podcast to be." So he's like, "Oh, you could just strip the audio from that and get started." Well, I hesitated for 6 months, and then I did exactly that. And now I have the Life's Checkmark podcast for almost 3 years, where people are coming on and sharing their journey in life, and navigating through what I went through. I was curious to learn how other people navigated through stuff like what we're talking about here, right? And so that's how Life's Checkmark podcast got born. And if you want to call it born, right? It got started and it's been growing ever since. And then with the Podcasters Hub, since I hesitated for so long, I started a coaching program to help people start a podcast. And then I created the hub so that there's a community of other podcasters come together and we can just encourage each other to keep going, because a lot of podcasters stop. 90% don't get past episode 3. So if there's a reason, want, and desire to have a podcast, I want to make sure that you have a community backing you up to keep moving forward. So that's how I got those things started.
And how long was that? How long ago was that you started the Life's Checkmark podcast?
November would be 3 years.
Wow. Okay. And how many times do you go live on your podcast?
Well, I don't go live, but I do.
Wow.
I do record it and then post it out, right?
Okay.
So I do 1 episode per week as far as posting it. There were times when I did 2, but I did it when I had it and I didn't say anything, right? So my goal is always to do 1 per week, and then the other one is considered like a bonus if I ever do it again. But yeah, I strongly recommend that you start small, then you build it up. Don't go, I'm doing it daily, and then you come down to 1 per month, because then you'll pretty much lose your audience because they're looking for you every day, right?
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Okay. So what, okay, with the podcasting, just because I always like to spotlight these, and I'm sure there are other people out there that may want to do what you're doing. Is this something very natural for you? I mean, it comes naturally for you?
No. No, I'm better than I was when I started. And I'll say that I'm an introvert, and, I never really saw myself out in front of people, talking to people or anything like that. So right here we are virtual. We're having a conversation. It's just you and me in a sense, even though other people are watching, right? And so doing the whole, working on the podcast, you tend to develop communication skills as we are now. Listening, communicating, speaking, going back and forth, asking good questions, and that's just how things work, right? I don't want to go back and listen to my first one. I don't know what it's like. I don't want to hear it because it's probably really bad. But it got me to the point where I found myself, like we mentioned before, that I found myself this year on stages speaking, and that's never been a thing for me, because I would say I had stage fright and everything, but then I feel like just with podcasting for so long and meeting so many people, you kind of just get the nerves knocked out of you and you just go for it. Even when people start applauding for you when you go up, and it's a good way to not just, build yourself up. And it sounds weird because it's virtual, but it's just the whole, for me, it was the whole experience of going through the whole I mean, like I've been podcasting with people all across the world, so it's not just like here at home. Like then after we're done here, I got somebody from Australia coming on, so I got to do that. But it's just having that connection. And Stacey, if you were on mine, I'd be sitting here listening to you, and I'd be asking you questions, right? But I would try to listen to you as much as I can, because I want to get to know everything about you, right, for the small amount of time that we would have. But yeah, so podcasting was nerve-wracking in the beginning, but once I had those first 10 and I launched it, and then I found more people to come on, it was just like, okay, it's game time, let's keep going. And I didn't do it to create an audience. I didn't do it to monetize. I did it just for the simple fact of learning what other people went through, and then hopefully it reaches that one person that needs to hear it, so they know they're not alone and they can get through whatever they're going through as well. So that's why I continue to do what I do.
There's just so much there. I want to ask you so much, but I know we don't have a lot of time. And I'm trying to, oh gosh, I get so excited. So forgive me, because my brain's going 55 miles an hour, and then my mouth is not catching up with me. But the thing that struck me the most is that you said that you were an introvert. And not that I'm saying that you're not telling the truth, but you don't strike me as an introvert. And I'm not sure if I'm missing something, because and I don't know if I'm like most people, like you think that introverts would not be able to, to come on this live, or you could evidently see that it was very difficult for them. But this doesn't seem very difficult for you. I don't know. Have you ever heard that before, or am I just...
I know where you're coming from. So I feel like I've been doing it for so long, so it's more natural, and I have a passion for it, especially when I get to share it. I did a Zoom call last week with authors, trying to tell them, hey, this is why you should have a podcast, right? And we talked for like over an hour, and it was mostly me talking, right? Because I just gave them all this information that I could give them, because I think they could run with it and do something great with not just the podcast, but the book too, right? Get it out there in front of people. But yeah, like the introvert part, again, if I'm hosting, I'd be asking you more questions. You wouldn't hear much of me, because I want to sit back and have you share your journey. But an example it's like when I was at an event last month, there was a huge table and everybody was going around the table, this is what I do, blah, blah, blah. And even one guy pointed it out to me, like, I'm all the way in the back, just basically taking it all in. Like, I don't need to be in front of people and stuff. And he even said something to me, I was like, he's like, you were back there, why were you back there? And basically that's what it was. Like, I'm there listening, trying to take it all in. So I don't want, I know it sounds weird, but I'm still like, I need to close up and be myself, right? I don't need to go to all these events all the time, right? I'm enjoying them because I'm trying to network and get in front of other people and try to share what I've gone through as well. I just spoke at a men's only event last month, so it was for men, and sharing my journey just through the whole divorce side and everything, right? So that they know how to navigate something like that on their own. And so, like, that's rewarding. So when you find a passion and that need and want desire to do something, I think you just run with it. So it was, for me, it was growth. It was building, and I'm not done yet. So it takes time, right? And so when you see somebody that is an introvert and they're closed up and they don't need to go out to party and stuff all the time, they can come out. They can share stuff. It's just they choose who they're going to share with, right? So their time is very valuable.
Can you, now that you're at this point and you are getting invitations to speak, on stages and so forth, and you've got clients and other podcasters and guests from around the world, is there something that you could share maybe with our members, like looking back after every, on your journey that you've been on thus far, and looking back, is there something that you could say, that you could share with them that might be encouraging for someone that may be apprehensive, whether they're an introvert or an extrovert, and just think that there's no way that I could do X, Y, and Z, or whatever's in their heart kind of stirring, and they're kind of reluctant to take that first step? Is there something that you could say, or maybe that you heard in your head that made you go ahead and take that first step?
Yeah, it's scary, right? Because it's the unknown. We don't know what it's going to be. But then again, where you stay is going to be unknown too. You just think you're comfortable and you're safe, and then sometimes it's always not that way. So for me, it was knowing really where I want to go with things, and it gradually built up. I'm still growing. I'm still doing things, right? And going beyond my comfort zone. I would say, for the most part, especially with podcasting, with everybody I've been talking to, really and fortunately, we go through some life-changing events that allows us to change who we are, to find out who we really are. And I say that because of where I was and who I am today. I had to go through all that for a reason, right? So I was kind of blindsided or whatever, and trapped in the hamster wheel in a sense, doing everything like I was told to, like we were talking, life's check mark, whatever. I had to go through that, and at first I was like, I don't want to, right? And so you want to stay, curl up in a ball, and this is safe, this is what I know, I don't want to go anywhere. But navigating through that, somebody not being part of your life anymore, or anything to do that, health-wise, or anything, right? Anything traumatizing can change your life completely, and I causes people to shift a little bit and see a different perspective of life. Like, who am I really? Why am I really here? And I got to do something so much better than what I'm doing now. So I think, however you get there, it's finding your purpose, that need, want, desire deep down inside of you, of how you can, hopefully, I want to say, help so many people as much as you can with whatever you decide to do.
That's interesting, because I know you spoke about passion and so forth, but it's interesting how you kind of concluded with helping as many people as you can in that purpose. Do you think that is, I don't want to say the key, but to make it come full circle of living in your purpose and your passion, that being able to serve others or help others? You think that's really, yeah?
I do. I really do. Yeah, because everything I'm thinking about now is how I can help and serve so many more people, and then it'll eventually come back to me, right, in a way, but it's only going to start, and I can serve hundreds, thousands, whatever I can do, as much as I can do. Yeah, once you figure what that is and how you can help, you're going to start small, like, oh, I could do so much more, so much bigger. Then you start collaborating with people, and now it's broad and much. But yeah, I think when you take your purpose and how you can go ahead and help somebody else, it definitely is a game changer.
Yeah, that, I just, and just to put and be transparent with everyone, I mean, John is certainly, he offered to help me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? We are talking about you. And it really blew me away, because we powwowed before, and I'm like, wait, this is about you, not about me. And it really took me aback. And it's funny, or it's not funny, but I'm just saying, maybe it's ironic, because you said that, about people finding their passion and helping others, and how you said, yeah, I do believe that. And it really does show, because, within a few minutes you were, offering to help in a way. And that is, to me, without, I don't know, I can't thank you enough, because you are truly living what you say. So thank you for that. But okay, oh gosh, I've got so much more to ask. I want to ask you one more thing. I know I said I was going to make it short and sweet, but one more thing. Okay, so who, if it's okay, and I'm not, if you want to say them by name or not, who was your biggest cheerleader when you were starting your podcast? Was it your family, friends, or colleagues, or other entrepreneurs that were struggling, or podcasters?
It's a great question. I mean, I don't know of anybody right up to me hitting the button and go live and record there. But
Right.
I know with that one podcaster local to me, it was always in the back of my head, if he can do it, and he's been doing it for 10 years or so now, if he can do it, I can do it. And I want to say when I probably mentioned it on Facebook or whatever, after I released the first few, I had people like, this is cool, let's go check it out and keep going or whatever. And then that's when things just spark a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you put something on social and your friends are on there and they're, they might support you and they may not be, actually listening to everything that you have going on, but then it grows from there where these people are like, well, can I come on? Can I share, or how do you do this? How do you create a podcast? Right? And so that kind of got me started. But you know what the best thing is? And I don't, as podcasters, we don't hear much from our audience, but the best thing is to always, every once in a while, get a comment or something where we hit somebody and it changed their life, their perspective. And so the one podcaster I know, he said, I think it was when I had him on mine too, he was going to give up way back when, right? Until this one person reached out from Japan and said that he was about to commit suicide until he listened to this podcast. And so for whatever reason, he connected with him, and that's what allowed him to keep going, because he changed somebody else's life with whatever was said, and that's why he's like, I'm just going to keep going. So now here he is, almost like 10 years, I think, and still going. And, you create a whole business and all that stuff from it too. But yeah, it's that's what's empowering about this, right? And that's why I love to see people start, but I want to see them keep going, not just start and then fade away. So, yeah. But yeah, those are the.
So just one voice. Just that one voice.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. That's all it takes.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. As long as you can just touch or help or, hold someone else's hand. And so, yeah. Okay. I'm not going to do it because I said I wasn't going to do it, so I'm not going to tear up. My group knows how I am. But thank you so much. And for those of you that are listening, I know John is going to drop in his how to get a hold of him. If you're interested in podcasting, he's got his Podcasters Hub in there and coaching and all that jazz. And if you want to listen to his podcast, I know he's going to drop in all that stuff underneath this, the live once we go off air. But I'm also going to, as I always do, anytime that I spotlight one of you all in the group, I am going to send you a personal invitation to his Facebook group for the podcast. So that way you can catch whatever he's podcasting about or whoever I don't even know how to phrase that, but whatever guest he might be having on his show to interview. So you can hear more about that and then maybe catch him live as he's getting all these invitations to speak around. So you might even be able to catch him live too. So, but that's about it. If you all have any questions, feel free to reach out to John. I'm sure he'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have about podcasting, all that other jazz. And as always, John, thank you. It was a pleasure. And I know it was short and sweet, but that just means you have to come back and talk about other stuff in detail. That's my excuse.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thank
You're welcome. You are welcome. All right, everybody. Listen, you all have a blessed night. It is Monday. I'm not sure if I'm seeing you all the rest of the week because my son is getting married. Yes, I just did say that. And yes, I did say it on my live son because I know he's probably going to kill me, but who cares? All right. But you all have a really great night. Stay blessed. And again, this is what travel is all about. It's the journey that gets us to those destinations. And if you do have a story to share and you feel that you may be a light to someone else, feel free to reach out to me. All right, John, take care. God bless. Hang out with me one quick second. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Take care. God bless.